friend Tom wanted to know what my dream car was. Well, this is it. It's Corvette Racer. And the reason why is I've talked about running the 24-hour race for a lot of years in Daytona. And Chevrolet and the Corvette guys came up with this deal last year, really, but we couldn't put it together because of my neck injuries and all. So this year was able to put it together. Now, this is a race car. This is a neat car to drive.
This is Corvette Racing, and why is it called that? Well, because it's a Corvette and it's racing. Get it? Anybody? Let me set the picture for you. It's 1960. You're in Detroit and you're a head designer at General Motors. The car company wants a sports car inspired by European sports cars, like Jaguar, Ferraris, and Macleys. I didn't do much research for this, if you could tell. So some GM designers cooked up this glorious C1 Corvette named after the battleship. Had a glorious look, but under the hood, oh yeah, that's not good. That's really not good. It came with a straight 6 engine, and the handling was apparently total garbage, and it came with an elusive 2-speed automatic transmission. Seriously, what were the engineers at GM thinking? A year later, the engineers were finally paid a brain by General Motors. They threw in a small block V8 and a 3 to 4 speed manual transmission, and all was well. Another feature of the C1 Corvette was it was made out of fiberglass, so basically just plastic. Just wanted to throw that in there. So the C1 Corvette lasted from 1953 to 1962, and it did pretty well. At first, in 1953, it was only bought by celebrities, and most of the vets were on the lot. Then they put a V8 in it, bang, a success. Then came the C2 Corvette, another banger. The C3, another banger. Oh shoot, the 1973 oil crisis. Skip to the C5 Corvette because the C4 does not matter. Stay on Facebook Marketplace and Rust Bucket.
$10,000 18 weeks ago, 177,000 miles. It has.
I'm not getting it. Listen here, hon. Listen here, hon. I ain't getting
like the.
I ain't getting that Corvette. It's too low.
2-pack a day.
Takes a drag from a cigarette.
Yeah.
The C5 Vet was a new slick sports car. It had another glorious V8 and a manual. So cool, so cool. Bring back the manual, blah, 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 blah. But we're not here to talk about the C5 road car, are we, eh? We care about the C5R, gasp in the glory. The C5 was a GT race car designed by Pratt Miller Motorsports and supported by GM, so it was a factory team. Corvette Racing by Pratt Miller Motorsports rolls off the tongue, eh? The C5R had its debut in 1999 and its last race was in 2004. And the C5R was one of the most dominant Corvette R race cars with a 55-31 race to win ratio, 50 podiums, 24 poles, 3 driver championships, and 4 team/constructor championships. Dang, that's a lot of numbers. The most famous thing about the C5R was that it was a car that Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jr. drove at the 24 Hours of Daytona. Neat, huh? With the success of the C5R and Chevy making the 6th generation Corvette, it was time for a change. Enter the Corvette C6R. The C6R had an insane 77 race wins, either 12 to 14 championships, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The C5R was the car that dominated GT2 and GT championships in the late 2000s and early 2010s and made a little cameo in the most mid-Pixar movie ever. The C6R was based on the Corvette C6Z06, great car may I add. The car was a GT2 homologated car, a X-Trek 6-speed sequential transmission that either had a LS7R or LS5R, and let's take a little look at the LS7R, and here, oh my lord, 7 liters. Yup, the C6R had a 7-liter engine, since the C6Z06 had a 7-liter naturally aspirated V8, so Pratt Miller just tweaked it to fit GT1 and GT2 regs. The C6R was a crazy race car, a legend of Grand Touring cars, you could say, with several championships in IMSA and ALMS, and several wins at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, along with the FIA GT Championship. The C6R had been out for a couple of years now, and had several championships and several series to its name, and in 2014, Chevy decided that the C6 Corvette is outdated now, so enter the Chevrolet Corvette C7 in 2014. Now, for me at least, the C7 Corvette is my favorite Corvette, specifically the Z06, and my goal with this YouTube channel is someday to be able to fund myself so I can buy a torch red C7 Z06. But you, yes you, I see you with your crusty computer/phone/iPad screen. Without your help, yes you, I will not be able to get the C7. How do you help? Subscribe, like the video, and that's all the help I need. And it's 2 buttons, you just press them, you can't be that lazy. Anyways, enough with the shilling. With Pratt Miller on a win high in IMSA with Tommy Milner, hey, I know that guy. With the C7 being released alongside it, the C7R was released and immediately got to heavy work in the Rolex 24. Now, this era of IMSA for Corvette was a little bit odd, to say the least. The Corvettes were not only in GTLM, but in the prototype class was the Corvette Daytona prototype. The DP Corvette would win the overall race, but only the number 4 GTLM Corvette would enter the race. But, yeah, that didn't happen. Not gonna focus on that a lot. Over the years, the win high would slow down slightly. But that didn't mean the C7R didn't win. It had, after all, a 24 Hours of Le Mans win in several IMSA championships, but the C7R wasn't as successful as the C6R, and at the turn of the decade, the CAR would come from the shadows and into the wall. The Z06 GT3R, no, I'm kidding. The CAR was based on the Corvette Stingray, but had a flat plane crank V8, which hinted at what the C8 Z06 would host, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The CAR, in the little years that it raced, which was 3, won its fair share of races. 25 races, competing in the GTD Pro class in IMSA, LMGT, AM, and WEC. CAR has to its name 3 championships, 1 in WEC, another 2 in IMSA, blah 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 blah. Also listen to that CAR flat plane crank. CAR in 2022, I think, had to have a GTD body kit in order to compete in GTD Pro. So Pratt Miller just slapped on that kit, but eventually in 2024, the CAR would sadly be retired for the Some people like it, some people don't. I fit in the first category. I'm lucky enough to have seen the car at the 2025 Long Beach Grand Prix IMSA race. And I love this car. The sound, the upshifting and downshifting, just mwah. And also, I forgot to mention, up until this point, Chevy has been factory supporting Pratt Miller under Corvette Racing, but this year it changed. Now we have Corvette Racing by Pratt Miller. Yeah, it's a long name, but who cares? The Z06 GT3R had a total of 3 wins, but by the time this video should be uploaded, the VIR race at Virginia Raceway should take place soon. Corvette looks like they're gonna win. Corvette looks like they're gonna get their 4th win. If they don't, well, I'm crying myself to sleep tonight, but that's besides the point. The Z06 GT3R is the first customer Corvette, and I explained customer cars in last vid. Anyway, so there are several teams fielding Corvettes in their respective GT3 series, with AWA, Pratt Miller, TF Sport, Trackhouse by TF Sport, and a one-off Daytona entry this year, Stellar Motorsports, Johar Motorsports, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, sorry. All these teams are fielding Corvettes in the 3 big GT3 series, IMSA, WEC, and SRO GT World Challenge. Oh yeah, there's also the Callaway C7 GT3R, but that's another topic that could probably make itself into a whole video. Corvette Racing is a legend in endurance racing, and maybe motorsports as a whole. And as I finish this video, I leave off with one question that you can reply to in the comments. Corvette Racing or the BMWs? Well, that's the end of the video. It might be a little shorter than the others, but it took me way too long to even finish the script to this. Comment down below your favorite Corvette race car, and I might heart it depending on your answer. Sorry for the 2 people who wanted the motorcycle motorsports video. That's next on my chopping block, but yeah, see you guys.